Hey Patrick!
Hi darling!
What are we doing?
We're going to Grado. It's our last trip of the season. We've been in this area for a long time. We liked it a lot. We have lots of work trips to do. But now we are moving on. Hey darling!
Man,
What are we doing today?
we're recording for the fans!
What are we doing on the boat today?
So we've spent 2 months in the marina, not by choice, but because we were both working and had to leave the boat somewhere. But today we are moving to Grado, which we are looking forward to because it seems like a very pretty place. It's out of season, so we're going to be on a town pier, which is in the middle of the little town, which is quite cool. And yeah, that's a little stop off because we're actually on our way to our dry dock facilities for our little boat. So for winter.
And how's the weather today?
Well, we've had stormy weather for ages now, so yeah, today is beautiful. It's a beautiful day. There are very big clouds forming on that side, so I'm a little bit scared.
Should we go the other way?
Okay.
We'll go the other way.
I really hope we can outsail these massive clouds in our little electric boat. But yeah, so
Prediction looks good, so I think we'll be okay.
let's hope. The dogs are chilled. Dogs, as you can see, really enjoy sailing. Makes them all sleepy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then that's it. You know, once we get to our new dry marina, we are going to be putting the boat in the boatyard, and that's us for the season. That's us done. Our first season done, and yeah, we're gonna start doing some more maintenance and repairs to our boat to get it beautiful and slick and amazing for next season.
Absolutely.
We've learnt a lot. We've learnt what makes us comfortable, what doesn't make us comfortable. What's coming next is we want to paint the outside of our boat, and we want to do our head. Our head is the last thing in the interior to be done. We want to paint the cockpit, and I would love to change our canopies, but we'll see. Everything gets so expensive, so
Yeah,
maybe that will happen following season.
And what have we got in the distance there?
Oh, so that, believe it or not, are a whole lot of castles. We actually took our dog to one of them. Medieval castle over there, but I'm sure the camera's not picking it up so far.
Not very well, no. But the sky, you can see the sky, how beautiful it looks. Especially on the camera at the moment. Blue is amazing. So we are sailing in a bit of a swell today, but we've had a week of very, very heavy rain. And full of logs in it. So you can see a log over there, which you've got to keep an eye out on. But there's almost an entire tree further ahead. Let's see if I can get that in the shot. I'll film it a bit as we get a bit closer. Oops, difficult focus. And there we can clearly see the tree.
What are you doing, love?
Filming.
Filming for the fans.
I all want to see you, my darling, but I'm showing them trees instead.
Wow, that one's even closer.
Yeah, we've got to keep an eye out. And another floating tree. You definitely can't take your eyes off the water for a minute here. So at the moment we are doing about 4 knots, 4.1 knots. We are using 1,300 watts of power. The sun is shining, so we're not draining the batteries at all. But it's going fairly well. We're probably about halfway there. I suspect we'll be there in another couple of hours. And that looks like Grado coming into view over there. I suspect suspect we've maybe got about 2 hours to go. That's the close side of Grado. We need to go to the far side. Let's see if we can get into town and tie up the town up here. Let's see if I can zoom in a bit more. Yeah, I'll show you when we get closer. Yeah, we're still doing about 1300 watts, 4 knots of speed, more or less. There isn't any wind, but there is quite a lumpy sea. A couple of 100 kilometers to the south in Pulla, actually, where we started our journey, there's a lot of wind, and every now and then we get some rather big swells, so we're bouncing around a little bit. We're just going to hold on to stuff. But other than that, it's a lovely day. Ooh. It's funny, on the video screen these things look tiny, but I think they might be about a meter or so high. There's a big one. Yeah. Boat's very happy, no problems at all. I thought there'd be a bit of growth on the rudders because I didn't paint those, but it doesn't seem to be slowing us down too much. Maybe we're using an extra 100 watts just to counter the growth on there, but next season I will paint the rudders as well. They are stainless steel, so you can't paint them with the same stuff you paint the bottom of the boat. I'll find something that works. A fly that's been bothering me, and can't seem to focus on him, but he flew into a spider's web, and the little spider has got dinner now, and I see the spiders carrying him up. Where do you live, little spider? Yeah, he's all tied up. He's going to be lunch for later. Yum yum yum. Not quite David Attenborough. He's disappeared. He's taken him, looks like, between the solar panels and the roof. Boat enjoying a nice bit of a fish out here. Looks like fun. And coming up to Grado over there. Alright, we're about halfway to Grado. Bit of a swell out, but, no wind. Don't know why the boat has sails, because we've pretty much never really been able to use them, but luckily solar panels work incredibly well.
Patrick,
Darling,
who are you talking to?
I'm talking to you.
To me? Who else are you talking to?
Napoleon and Niles.
No, Patrick.
Yes,
Who are you really talking to?
It's all the fans. It's for the fans. What are those dogs doing?
Okay, Niles doesn't want Napoleon to be on me.
Oh, okay, so is he trying to throw him overboard? Yeah, I thought so.
I'm trying to get Napoleon to look at the horizon because he looked a little bit seasick.
Oh, poor puppy.
Look at it. What's that? Oh, that's a clever boy. Look at the dolphins. Look at the dolphins, my boy.
Anyway, we're nearly here. That's where we're off to. I'm looking forward to getting there. The swell has been side on for a while. Not too bad right now, but it was a little bit worse earlier. Here we go. Which is the grumpy dog? He's a very jealous dog, that. Grado has this very long canal you've got to go down to get to the docks. One of the things I love about the electric motors is just how quiet they are. You can hear all the seagulls in the background, you can hear people talking. It's brilliant. I've spoken a lot about how fast I can go for various speeds, but this is about as slow as I can get the boat to go. With 100 watts on each motor, so 200 watts in total, and I'm doing about 1.5 knots of speed. I'm actually not sure what a typical sailboat does at idle, so if you can tell me what that is, it'll be good to know. I was parked next to a powerboat once in a marina, and he had great 300 horsepower dual motors, and he said the slowest he could go on idle was about 7 knots, and I think it would be pretty scary going down this canal at 7 knots. It's not fun at all, especially when the boat overtakes you like the one that just overtook us over there. Where are we, darling?
I don't know.
We're in Grado. And we've got 2 poodles. And the boat is in the middle of the town. So a quick tour. That's the canal that we came in through. Then there are a lot of boats where the locals have kept their boats here permanently on mooring. All of the boats, in fact, that you can see on the other side are permanently on mooring. The visitors like us have these orange buoys we tie up to, and then we tie up to the dock as well. And in that alleyway over there, that's actually the main shopping street. There's a spa there, which is quite nice to go and do your groceries. This building over here actually has a webcam on it, and it kept an eye on our boat the whole time. It was also nice, our family was hopping onto that and checking things out. In the distance there, you can actually keep your boat at no cost. You don't get electricity or water, but as long as you move your boat every day, they're quite happy to have you. And there's the orange buoys again. What a beautiful view. Grado developed in the 5th century. Apparently people fled to Grado to get away from Attila the Hun. Grado is an island, so I guess it was a lot safer. Then from sometime in the 1700s to 1918 it actually belonged to Austria. And Austria had to give it to Italy after the end of the First World War. Most of the streets in the old town are very, very narrow, so if you're wondering how people move things around those very narrow streets, this is how. A lot of these cute 3-wheeled, I think they're called apes, little tricycles made by Piaggio, and there are tons of them floating around. Somebody saw a picture of it on the webcam and asked me how anyone fits inside that thing, because it's a lot smaller than it looks on the video here. And this is one of the other canals that goes on the other side of Grado. Grado is actually about 2 islands, and this is where a few more people keep their boats. And a spot that's designated for a romantic rendezvous, I think. Good morning, Poodles. What do you think? Should we go outside yet? Let's go have a look. It's not raining. But we're in a bit of a flooding situation. Combination, I think, of a very high tide and probably a storm surge, but that's meant to be the road. And that over there is the electricity box. There's one plug underwater already, one above. It's pretty deep. That's all meant to be a road in the middle of the picture over there. There's the street lights on the other side of the road. Neighbour's dinghy is floating on top of the road. And there's a bicycle parked at the other end. So you can zoom in, show you how deep that is. So I think we'll hang out on the boat a little bit longer. Once the sun came out, it actually made for some really amazing photos and videos. This is the day dock where you can bring your boat and you can stay at no cost for a day at a time. You're actually allowed to stay longer, you've just got to move your boat once every day. And then being from the southern hemisphere, this whirlpool is spinning the wrong way around. It should actually be going clockwise. It's the first time I've seen something like this since I arrived in the northern hemisphere, and I was expecting it to go in the other direction. And another great sunset to end the video. The sunsets in winter in Europe seem to be much better than the ones in summer. We saw some really great ones in Pulla, and Grado also had some really good sunsets. Could have also been the storms. We had a lot of storms around this time as well. So if you haven't been to Grado, I would suggest you make a stop. It's a really great place to go, particularly if you have a boat. And here's some stats for the trip. Google Maps thinks we were on a ferry, and it thinks we did 20 nautical miles on the ferry, which is very accurate. The ferry was our own boat, of course. There isn't a ferry between Monfalcone and Grado. But we did 20 miles in just under 5 hours. We were averaging about 4 knots for the trip. And when we left, the battery was on about 70%. And when we arrived, the battery was still on, I think, about 72 or 73%. We charged in the middle of the day, and then towards the end of the day, we used some of that battery when the sun was a bit too low.